Welcome to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast, a show for ambitious women who are ready to ditch their 9-to-5 and create an online business doing work that's in alignment with their calling. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, business and money mindset coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Each week, I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and cultivate an abundance mindset that will help you create a profitable, service-based online business. If you're ready to make an income and impact doing what you love, let's do this. All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, and today we're talking about what letting go of the how actually means in your business, because this is something that you might have heard, and it might actually feel like nails on a fucking chalkboard when you hear it. If you're in the online coaching space, especially in the manifestation or spiritual community, this is something that a lot of people say, and I've said it myself. And while there is an important aspect of letting go of the how, I feel it's important to explain what that actually means. So what we want to talk about here is what are the things that you actually need to know how to do in your business, and what do you need to let go of? Because if you are a brand new coach in the online world, you need to know how to run an online business. None of us pop out of the fucking womb knowing how to do this, right? This is a learned skill. So you need to know how to market your business online. You need to know how to create content. You need to know how to attract clients. You need to know how to create programs, and you need to know how to make money. You need to have a sales process. So there's a lot of things that you actually need to know how to do. And what happens with a lot of coaching programs when they are geared towards manifestation or spiritual entrepreneurs is that they completely leave out the how, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what strategy you have. The how doesn't necessarily matter as long as you have something in place, because so much of your success is driven by your mindset. Good morning. Good morning. But if you're brand new, you need all of that how. Like, you need all of that. So if you're further along in your business, it makes sense to really release your attachment to your strategy. Obviously, you need to have something in place to attract clients and make money. But what happens when you're further along in your business is that you can get caught up in thinking that your next level is going to be a result of changing your strategy or doing different things. And in reality, it's really more of an internal game. But when you're newer in business, you really need to focus on the how. You need to focus on those things I just mentioned. So how do you market your business? How do you show up online? Like, how do you show up on the different platforms? Those things are really important, because you can't just spend all of your days doing mindset work and releasing the how and going and having bubble baths or going for walks and things like that. Because while all of those things are beautiful and well and good, they're not necessarily going to help you make you money if you don't have systems in place. So you need to know the how as far as the different things that you need to be doing in your business, but then the letting go piece. Letting go of the how is important no matter what stage you're at in your business, because as humans, we want to overcomplicate things. We want to overthink things all the time. And we really need to let go of how everything is going to turn out for us. So what we can do is set an intention that we are going to have a successful business, that we're going to attract clients. But once we show up and we do the things that we have decided to do as part of our strategy, that's when we release the how. That's when we lean back. So what this looks like on a really practical level is you have a system in place where you know who it is that you want to work with, right? You know who your ideal client is, and you know what you do for them. You don't need to have an entire product suite mapped out. That is not necessary, but you need to have those basics down. Otherwise, when you show up online, you're just going to be creating content to the masses, right? And a wishy-washy message that's speaking to everyone speaks to no one, which means the person that you want to work with, they're just going to keep scrolling by, because they're not going to realize that your message is for them. So you need to get really clear on, firstly, what it is you do and who you want to do it for. And know with this that this can shift and change over time. You are not completely locked in to this for the entire lifespan of your business. I've changed my ideal clients. I've shifted things as far as what I do in my business over the years. And I feel it's really good for us to have that space and to have that freedom. Because especially if you're in the coaching world, you're probably into growth. You're probably into personal development and growth. And it's normal that you're going to want to shift and change over time. So you don't have to be locked in to one ideal client or to one program. In fact, you can have different ideal clients in your business. You can have multiple programs, of course, but you do need to have clarity on that. So when you're showing up and you're creating content, you know what the fuck to say, and you know who you're saying it to. So we need to know who that is. We need to know what that is. And then as far as your offer, you need to know how it is that you're helping these people specifically with your program. So what does it look like when someone comes into your world and they want to work with you? Is it a group program? Is it a one-to-one program? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 weeks? You need to work out all of those details. And then as far as how you're showing up, you need to know where it is that you want to be on social media. If you want to have a podcast, if you want to have a blog. And if you're in my world, you know I'm huge on having something like that outside of social media, because as fantastic as social is, we do want to be creating content that we own, because we all know what happened to Facebook a little while ago. Things went down completely. And of course, it's not going to go anywhere forever, but we do want to have content that we own, because Facebook, Instagram, any of these platforms can come along and shut you down. They can completely shut you down. So what you want to be doing is asking yourself, okay, what do I want to be doing in my business as far as who I'm doing it with, what I'm doing for them, what kind of program it is. And then how do I want to show up? So where do I want to show up on social media? Work out all of these hows. And then we let go, which means once you show up, once you put the post on social media, once you send the email, once you do the podcast episode, once you do the YouTube video, when those things are done, then you close the laptop, you get off your fucking phone, and you go and live your life. That's what releasing the how is, because we have no control over how many people see our videos. We have no control over how many people listen to our podcast or how many people see our social media posts. And of course, we can do things to help get our message out there in a bigger way. There are strategic things that we can do. But at the end of the day, that's really up to universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, right? We can't control absolutely every aspect in our business. And especially when you're newer, it can be very easy to get into this place where you're refreshing your email constantly, looking for people who are booking sales calls, or you're constantly going back and watching your stories to see how many people are tuning in. I'm totally guilty of doing this in the past. It's something I had to let go of, had to release the how, right? So we need to look at the different things that we do have control over and show up for our people and show up and do those things that we know are going to help grow our business. But then that's when we move into our feminine energy and we lean back. And it doesn't matter if you are a biological male or female, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. And that feminine energy is leaning back, it's closing the laptop, it's going and doing the things that you love to do beyond your business. And even if you absolutely adore your business, there are going to be other things that you're feeling called to do. You don't need to be glued to your phone all the time. You don't need to be glued to your laptop all the time. But you need to get to the space where you show up, you do the work that you've committed to do. And I always recommend that people have some non-negotiables, so they have a system in place where they're showing up and they're doing things consistently, and then you let it go. Because what tends to happen when we are really tangled up in the how, as far as, okay, how many people saw this post and how is this message going to get shared out there? I wonder if people are going to reshare this. I wonder if people are going to read this. I wonder if people are going to reach out. When we get into that energy, guys, that's when we get all entangled with our desires. And from a manifestation point of view, when we're doing that, we fuck ourselves over. We fuck ourselves over every single time because we create resistance that doesn't need to be there. When we're showing up and we're doing work that's in alignment with our purpose, with our calling, when we're doing work that helps other people and we're offering value, we're doing the things that we need to do as business owners, all we have to do is continue to do that. And we need to know and trust that the clients are going to come. The money is going to come because we've done our part. What we don't want to do is white knuckle our way through our days, constantly refreshing the email and constantly going back and checking to see how many likes that you have on the Facebook post. Hands up, give me an emoji if you've ever done that before. If you posted something and then gone back like 2 minutes later just to see how many likes you got, just to check in. That's what we need to release. So releasing the how and letting go of the how doesn't mean that we just lay back and take naps all day and watch Netflix and have bubble baths and millions of dollars roll into our account. Obviously, even though that's sometimes the way it's marketed, that's not what letting go of the how is. Letting go of the how is showing up to the best of your ability, doing that consistently, having massive clarity on what you're doing and who you're doing it for, and having a system in place so you know how your business works. Because another thing we can talk about here that's tied in with this is feeling really confused in your business. And if you're asking yourself like, oh my gosh, what do I do today? I don't know how I'm supposed to get clients this week. I don't know how I'm supposed to show up in my business this week. When you have a system in place that you just work consistently, that eliminates so much stress. And that part of the how, just goes away, just dissolves, because you don't need to worry about it. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing every single day in your business. Not that you need to show up online every single day, but you do need to be consistent, right? So that is what I was feeling called to share with you guys. If you want to hang out further, you can find me over on Instagram at igniteyourpurpose.co. And I also have a free community with over 3,000 purpose-driven entrepreneurs in it called Ignite Your Purpose. So I would love to see you either in the Facebook group or on Instagram or on both places if you feel called to do so. And as usual, guys, I can't wait to speak with you in the next episode.